Hey everybody, Andy here, AK Montolio, and we're back for another Vintage League. This is round two, and we're playing Jacob Amber, and we are playing five color shops. We have revealed our companion Gigantha, and we are ready to motor here. So this hand is pretty weak sauce. Um, I mean, turn one smokestack is not very good in this particular situation. I feel like we can do better than this hand. This is much better. We'll keep this one and we'll put the Sphinx away. Now, obviously, we want to draw, the ability to cast the lantern here as fast as we can to be able to tinker. But so we got the ancestral turn one by the looks of things. Oh, we missed on the three ball. That's unfortunate. Um, I'm going to play my Moxen out, and the reason being is if my opponent casts a Lavinia, it's just game over for us. So what this does is we have the option of tinkering next turn or Trinisphere. And I think there's a strong argument for playing Trinisphere because if my opponent, for whatever reason, stumbles and they get underneath the Trinisphere, it allows us to tinker with impunity. Now, they have white here, so it's just possible we're playing against Swords to Plowshares. And Swords to Plowshares makes Sphinx of the Steel one look really bad, but Sundering Titan looks solid. So possible we're getting Dak Faden here. Okay, Teferi. Perfectly reasonable. So 6 cards in hand. My opponent doesn't really know what we're up to here. The question is can we actually, well, I found a 3 ball, which is going to require an answer immediately. That's probably the best draw we could have had, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to slam a 3 ball. Oh, I don't have blue mana. Ooh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Okay. So why don't we try the 3 ball, see if that works. I mean, maybe it's just better to. I think we try and do this. I mean, my opponent can send it back to my hand. Force of Will. Okay. Away goes Flusterstorm. We're going to play the Chromatic Lantern. And we're going to pass turn. And next turn, if we're lucky, we will be able to resolve a Tinker and decimate their mana base. If we're lucky. Oh, nice. Mentor. Okay. Okay. Four cards. Okay. I mean, I feel like we need to try, right? I think we'll get rid of the white source here. Let's see if that works. Once again, similar to the first match, like your opponent is not necessarily prepared for this type of a line, right? And we're going to get Sundering Titan here. And this will hit all three other lands. STP, okay. Yeah, it's totally fine. Now, of note here, we have a Tabernacle in our deck, and we have a Golos to go and get it. So it's pretty good. Black, blue, white. Huh? Okay, white. So, I mean, that was pretty good. We three for three'd them, but we got rid of all their mana, which is pretty strong, and we're threatening to return. Okay, well, maybe not. Mental misstep got us there. But Golos, if it resolves, and it should, because they would have countered my Tinker if they had a counter spell, is going to curb what the Monastery Mentor can do. Mm-hmm. It's pretty nice. Jeez. I mean, I'm going to Ancestral first, right? The only reason not to do this is days, but firing off an Ancestral is pretty nice here. And Crucible of Worlds, interesting. I got two Goloses though, which is really nice. Not gonna play around days and play the Mana Crypt here. So we're gonna go and get a Tabernacle because we have another one. And that should favor us pretty good. They still have this Teferi here, which is going to cause problems, but I am going to be able to attack into it at some point. And are they going to keep their Mentor around? Yeah, okay. Now, Golos going to find a Strip Mine here. That's pretty damn good too, because we've got that Crucible. And eventually we're going to be able to attrition them out of lands. And they'll have to burn their Teferi. I'm liking our position here. I mean, we don't have this one locked up, but it's pretty solid. Of note, pretty cool that Chromatic Lantern makes Tabernacle at Pendra Veil tap for any mana. Pendril Veil is a lot better when it does that. It's reminiscent of days where I used to discard Gristone Portal to Bazaar and slam a Tabernacle, and I could pay for it, and my Bazaar opponents could not. Okay, so they're tagging up here. Should not be attacking. Yeah, just pay a red mana here, I think. I'd like to pay. Statue's a really nice draw. I think I attack before actually casting anything. The reason being is I don't want to give them a free token here. So we're going to attack Teferi. It doesn't kill Teferi, unfortunately. Okay, opponent is just interested in getting rid of the Mentor for obvious reasons. I'm not feeling compelled to cast the Mana Crypt here. Like if they've got an answer to the God Pharaoh statue outside of bouncing it with the Teferi, then so be it. You know, it's really an awkward spot for them somewhat. because, I mean, I guess if they slam a Dak Faden here, it looks a lot better. Um, okay. I'm going to cast a Soul Ring, I think. No reason not to. Actually, once again, I've put myself in a little bit of an awkward situation here because, well, I guess not, because the Mentor's gone. Now I'm feeling a lot better about things. I guess they can SDP here, but I don't really care that much about that. Like if that's what they're going to do to get my my Golos, so be it. Yep, so they do have an STP here. Oh, okay. So this is why they're playing the Hall of Helioids. They're playing an enchantment deck. I feel like I can play the Mana Crypt now. Like I'm far enough ahead that seems like it's a fairly reasonable thing to do. I'll return Giganta to my hand here. And I mean, the pressure's all on my opponent here. And you know, if I do draw a Wasteland, it's pretty good for me. Yeah. Intact Fairy here, see if we can get through another Shark Typhoon. Nope. Like this is fine with me because now I know that I'm going to resolve the Golos. And this is going to attack their mana base significantly. And I'm just going to go against Strip Mine. Strip Mine. And can I cast this thing? I think I can. Oops. Doesn't really matter. All right, your turn. Felt really nice casting Sundering Titan there earlier in the game. Such a powerful card. Okay, so we are playing against a graveyard strategy that is a replenish deck. And I think that said, I think it's worthwhile bringing in Choke, Soul Guide Lanterns. Very similar strategy to what we did last game. Couple Pyroblasts, and I think that's probably pretty reasonable. Again, I mean, Buried Rune's okay. Maybe it's all right. Smokestack is definitely a little bit slow. I feel like Mentor, despite Tabernacle was very good and actually won us that game, I feel like it's reasonably fringe. I mean, it's a one of in their deck. I feel like we're reasonably well positioned to be able to deal with that. Balance probably can cut. Sphinx of the Steel Wind is probably not that good here. Snaring Bridge is probably not at its best. Sorcerer Spyglass could be okay. I wish I had it last game. We're playing against Esper colors here. Probably could cut Spyglass. I do like Spyglass, though. It's just a really nice catch-all. I mean, how good is it here? I don't know. Like, why don't we try it? We can cut that. We'll cut the Buried Rune. Buried Rune is a luxury. Let's see how this goes, guys. Yeah, I mean, I think this is fine. Obviously, I've got two awkward cards in my hand, but they can come around at some point. We're going to keep that. I mean, that's the double beam dream. If you catch somebody with choke, like just, I have yet to get someone with it. I feel like I just want to try and get Sphere down here, slow them down. My opponent is mulliganed here, and okay, so they've got the force. I think that's fine. Our hand's a little bit awkward without the artifact here to fuel our Tolarian Academy, but I think that's all right. So they're down to one card in hand, and they're going to Ancestral, which is a pretty decent thing to do. Hopefully they did not find a land. They did. Okay. That was a good draw. 3 cards in hand. Yeah. I feel like I'm going to cast Emry here and see what we hit. This total F6. Okay, well that's pretty great for us because we've got a God Pharaoh statue and a Chromatic Lantern there, which are both really solid. We will be able to 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we will be able to attempt to cast the statue next turn, which should ice the game. Maybe not. Cementor? Yeah, these stinkers. Can we cast a choke though? Yeah, I mean, we're going to cast a Sphere Resistance here. And then we're going to cast a choke. I think we got to pay the extra here, but let's see if we can resolve a choke. There it is. Now, we're still in trouble here, right? Like, we still got to be able to fend off this attack. But I mean, this is pretty good. We're at 20 life, so it's not unreasonable. We're going to try and get a Karn down here. Actually, what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to attempt to get the God Pharaoh statue here. No, they just conceded. Okay. So what we were going to do there is get the God Pharaoh statue, and then we were going to lock up them cast anything from there. Then we were going to cast Karn, And we probably at that point we're going to go and get an ensnaring bridge to just hide the game down, and we can actually weld the ensnaring bridge out at our convenience. You know, we get a mica synth lattice and then um, weld out the ensnaring bridge when they can no longer do anything and we have control of the board, which is going to happen, you know, in 2 to 3 turns from now. But at 18 life, they're just not getting through. We also could cast Gigantha as well. Okay, anyways, nice win.